Hi Dad, I thought I would work on our first workout together, trying to record it. That way you can work on it at your leisure and I can get some practice talking to the camera and warm up, instructing that way. So for our warm up, we're gonna start with doing some shoulder range of motion. This first one is called a YTI stretch. So you're gonna hinge forward at your waist. You're gonna bring your arms up and apart like in a Y, and then back together. Come out like a T, back together, and then up like a Y. So we'll just go through this a couple of times. Y, T, I. Let's do one more round. Oops, that was a T. Y, T, I. And that's just really getting the upper mid-back muscles going. Next, we're gonna work on some body weight lunges, just going forward, working on warming up the lower body. Let's go for 4 altogether. That's 2, 3, 4. And then lastly, for our warm-up, we're gonna do a reverse lunge. And then when we come forward, raise the knee. Once again, let's do 4. And then we'll go through this whole warm up again. All right, let's go through the YTI again. Hinging forward, Y, T, I. Oh man. That was a Y again. Y, T, I. Y, T, I. And there's a cat between my legs. Y, T, I. All right, let's go back to those forward lunges. I'll try not to kick my cat. You try not to kick any cats in your home. 4 on each. Total. And then the reverse lunges with the knee up. Just incorporating some balance. And lunges always work on the glutes, the hamstrings, and the quads. All right, the other thing I wanted to kind of look at, if we were together, I would look at your range of motion in your shoulder. So we could do what's called an Appley back scratch test, which is pretty much just trying to touch your hands together. And as you can see, my right hand up, I can touch my left, but the other way around, I'm a little tight. And obviously those imbalances are not what we want. So it's a great functional stretch you can do. A lot of times this internal rotation we lose as we age. So it's good to work on it because we always want to be as balanced as possible. So you could throw in a couple of these stretches just to finish the warm up. Like I said, this one's easier. I'm right-handed, so I have a little bit more range of motion that way than I do this way. And then just if you have any other muscle soreness or stiffness you want to work out before we get started with the actual workout, we're going to go through 3 circuits altogether, working on upper and lower body, really working on the muscles that you need to increase your power when you're throwing. So part of that is the external rotation during the windup, and then the internal rotation and the forward thrust. So that's why I worked on the lunges, and that's why we're working on the range of motion in the shoulder. So that's my timer. Our first circuit is going to be deadlifts. So I would say a moderate weight to start with, because we're going to do it maybe in a way you haven't done it before. It's called using tempo. So we're going to go down really slow, hold it at the bottom, and then come back up with a little bit more power. So it's down, slow, hold, and then come back up. So I'd say a light to moderate weight. I'm using pretty light. Mostly I already did my legs today. So I'm using more of a demonstration weight. So I'm only using 25 pounds. But whatever you typically use, I would knock off a few pounds from that. So just to demo real quick again. So it's hinging at the waist, slight bend in the knee, down, hold for 3, and then power coming back up. So let's work on 10 of those. Down, hold for 3, power back up. Once again, shooting for 10, nice and slow on the way down, hold, and then back up. Sometimes I have a tendency to rush my holds. I'm really trying not to. It's easier with the lighter weights because it's easier to feel like I can control it.
Rest.
All right, we can take a quick rest here. We're just gonna go straight sets with this. I always like to jog in place in between. Stretch out anything you might need to stretch out. You can always pause it if you want to change the weight, either heavier or lighter. I have a tendency to lift pretty heavy, but like I said, I already did my legs today, and they were still sore from Wednesday, and really Monday too. So going light, being smart. Normally I would do a little heavier. But the nice thing about the tempo deadlifts is it's really forcing your glutes and your low back, as well as your upper back and lats, to really stabilize. So you're not bending forward too much, because obviously we don't want that. You want a nice straight spine to protect your back. And it helps engage all those muscles that you need for one, coming back for your wind up, and 2, the eccentric control of the lats, which slow the arm down. So hopefully you started without me. Once again, shooting for 10 with tempo. And you can play with your foot placement and really your knee position. I like to keep my feet together with my deadlifts, relatively narrow. I tend to do more of a straight leg deadlift, but if you prefer, you can bend the knees a little bit at the bottom, make it more of a Romanian deadlift.
Rest.
All right, we'll do one more set after this, and then move on to circuit 2. Excuse me. Whew. I'm sweating, and I already worked out today. That's why I did the lighter weights. I didn't think I'd sweat. Once again, I like to jog in place in between sets. Sometimes I get a little bored waiting. That's why a lot of times I like to do more of a superset, balancing 2 different exercises and muscle groups. But I thought for this first one, it would be good to just do straight sets, kind of get the lay of the land, if you will. So this whole workout should take just about 30 minutes, a little bit less. But it covers most of the main muscle groups: glutes, hamstrings, and our last circuit is going to be more upper body. All right, let's get ready.
Circuit 1.
That's 5 for me. maybe should have given us more time for that set. It was felt a little rushed at the end there to get the third set in. Okay, so we're heading into circuit 2, which we're going to do lunges and then a low row. So we're going to do forward lunges. We're going to do 2 sets on each leg. So it'll be right leg, right low row, left leg, left low row. So I'm going to stick with the 25 pounds, which is kind of where I typically am with a forward lunge, but it's pretty light for me for a low row. So we can get that set up. So once again, I would say as far as your weights are concerned, base it off your low row weight, which is this.
Lunge out.
Yeah. Okay. Shooting for 10, 8 to 12 is fine. Shoes when I'm doing these. All right, that's 10 for me.
Rest.
I may have set my timer wrong, so we'll see. But now we're gonna do, that was left, so we're gonna do left split stance low row.
Lunge R.
So split stance. Yeah, I did my timer. Shooting for 10 again. And for low rows, if you prefer, you can come down onto an elbow to come down a little lower to bring it up. That tends to bother my hip a little bit, so I prefer to do it from the knee. And in reality, if you're really trying to get your core in, you can put your stabilizing hand behind your back and do it like that without that upper body support. Okay, so now we're gonna do right leg, right arm. Same thing, forward lunge, right leg, and then split stance low row with the right arm. And with the forward lunge, you just want to make sure you're taking a pretty big step forward and try not to swing the dumbbells because that takes a lot of extra energy and effort up. You want to kind of feel like you're almost like punching the floor, if you will. All right, get your weights.
Lunge out.
Six. Two more. I went too fast, but I have a tendency to do that. Maybe if I didn't have the timer behind me, I would have noticed, but just stick for 10. Really, you can go up to 12 if you need to, if you feel like it would be good, but any more than 12, you should increase your weight. Okay, now the split stance low row on the right.
Lunge R.
So you're trying to bring your elbow straight back with the weight up to the hip. All right, that was 10 for me. Like I said, I may have done my timer wrong. it might only have us do one set of everything. So if you do this on your own, or the next time you do it on your own, you can pause it, add another set. Or maybe I did it right. I guess we'll find out because it says rest. So we'll see. Otherwise, we are going on to circuit 3, which is push-ups and close grip chest presses, which are different from your regular chest press. With a close grip, you hold your weights here and you push straight out, rather than a regular where your elbows come wide. For the push-ups, we're going for power push-ups. So nice slow lower and then a quick push up. We're only going for 5 for the power push-ups.
Power push-ups.
I'm going for my knees because push-ups and I don't get along. So with the power push-ups, we're working on that power again of the pecs, which is what you need when you're bringing the arm forward. It's also working on some of the rotators.
Rest.
And now for the close grip chest press, we're working on the triceps and the chest. Once again, working on the power for coming forward. You can obviously do these on your bench or with a barbell. Well, no, not with a barbell.
Close grip chest press.
Going for 10. That's 8 for me. Okay, got a quick rest before we go back to those power push-ups. Once again, we're going for 5. Just stretching out my pecs a little bit. I've done a lot of pec work today, or this week really. So today we've been working on the chest strength, which is what you need for the power. We've been working on the back strength, which is what you need for that control as you're following through to slow it down, the arm down a little bit. It's called eccentric control. And that's what the low rows were doing. And then the lunges, we're working on that plant foot. So you have that power there and
Power
stability.
push-ups.
All right, 5 more. That was 5 for me. And then we're gonna do this 3 rounds all together. So we're, I guess, technically halfway through with this last circuit.
Rest.
We'll get ready for the close grip chest press. And you can do these with tempo also if you'd like.
Close grip chest
With a
press.
quick push up and hold it at the bottom. Seven, 8, 9, 10. Hey, it did pretty good with 10 that time. Whew. Maybe should have gone a little lighter for my demo weights for the close grip chest press. I usually only do between 25 and 30 pounds. Working on getting it a little higher, but my triceps are still lacking a bit. Working on it though. So we've got one more round and then we'll go into a quick cool down. And so what I'll do when I send this to you, you're not gonna see this part of the video before I send it to you, but I'll send you the printout of the exercises so you know ahead of time, so you can get your weights set up, because unfortunately I didn't put enough rest in between each circuit. But you can pause, obviously. All right, last round of push-ups.
Power push-ups.
I don't know if you noticed, but I adjusted my grip there. I had my hands a little narrower than I typically prefer, especially when we're supersetting with the close grip chest press. So I widened my hands a little bit, but hand placement is really up to personal preference. It just changes the angle a little bit, and therefore just changes the part of the pec that gets targeted a little bit, but it's still pecs.
Close grip chest press.
All right, so I believe that is our last working set. So hopefully you found this first workout, if not challenging, but different and new, trying some new techniques. So we'll just do some stretches in a minute, work on stretching out the pecs and the glutes a little bit, and really wherever you feel like you need it. The warm-ups, I tend to like to do more dynamic movements, so that's why we did the lunges and the YTI stretches. And then for the cool down, you can do more static stretches because your muscles are already warm.
Power push-ups.
Oh, apparently I had 4 rounds. Okay, well we're not doing a 4th round, so don't worry about that. Let's just stretch. Okay, so I like to kind of start by just moving around, working on whatever feels tight. My lats and my obliques are a little tight from what I've worked out this week, so a nice little side bend is helpful.
Rest.
And then for the triceps and the lats, inner upper back, just kind of bring your arm across, stretching that way. Same thing on the other side. And then triceps again, because the triceps we're working both in the push-up as well as the close grip chest press. They actually work quite a bit in the close grip chest press. And I hope you appreciate I wore a shirt. I never wear a shirt working out. I sweat too much. And I sweated. I did sweat. And then this is working on the biceps as well as the pecs a little bit. Just bring the hands out. If you want more of a deep stretch, you can do a forward fold, bring the arms up. That also incorporates a bit of a glute stretch if you come forward even further. All right, and then my favorite stretch is what we'll end with. It's called literally the world's greatest stretch, and it feels amazing. So I like to kind of start by coming down, get a little quick stretch here, walk out to a high plank, and then let's start with bringing the left foot by the left hand, and then opening up. And then you can come back down and bring your elbow down to the mat if you want. And that really gets more of the glute here, as well as the hip flexor of the other leg. Then you can do a quick pike up in between, and then the other leg. And I like to kind of just wiggle here a little bit, kind of settle in, and then reach up, and then down. Once again, I just like to wiggle a little bit and settle in. Let's just do one more on each side. Open. Down. Take some nice deep breaths. And let's pike up and switch. Open, down, wiggle a little bit. And back. All right, walk your hands back. Come on up. Well, I hope you enjoyed this first workout. I've got 2 other days worth that we can try out together. But I'll send you this one and let me know how you like it. I can tweak things. I'll work on the timer for next time, and we'll take it from there. Okay? All right. Thanks. Love you.